ticking away. And at one point I wanted to go into the military as well. I spent 5 years in the Territorial Army in the Royal Signals, and I had aspirations of joining the Royal Marines as an officer, but I carried on the academic route, and I used to teach undergraduate students at Cambridge University environmental science, as well as for reading for my PhD. And I used to count flies in the basement as part of my research. I'd look down the microscope and I'd identify these flies and count them. And the whole September 11th thing happened, and I thought, well, I really want to be in this basement counting flies, and if something happened, what would be left? A little skeleton and a pile of flies. Or do you do something in life that, okay, you might fail, but you had a go, or do you not do it and live with regret and always say, oh, what if, and so I thought, right, let's do it. And originally I'm from Essex, but this sort of area of the country is always tugged at my heartstrings. Is the big open skies. It allows you to really imagine things and have it's just great. But so I had to locate a farm. The only way I could really start on a very, very tight budget was to find a derelict farm that was set aside for many, many years, and start with a niche product and start very, very slowly and smallly, going to farmers markets and build and build and build. And we've been there 9 years now. It feels like 90 sometimes.
The television's helped you hugely, hasn't it?
Funny enough, it can have the opposite effect as well. I mean, because with the BBC you're under quite a lot of constraints in certain things, but your whole life is open. So it's funny, because if there's any sort of form filling you haven't done right, or if you haven't done this right, they're soon on you, because you're there as an example. Plus, when you're on TV, all of a sudden these things, oh, we must have loads of money. So if I ever go to a pig auction to buy, if I go to livestock market, the price is double. So it does, but I mean, really, it gave us great sort of coverage, nationwide, which is great, but we still only access, our market is the local market still.
But you say us, and I didn't realise till I was quickly looking through information today that you met Kayla through filming. Was it?
Yes,
she was a runner.
She was a runner, and Jamie was filming his 15. When he did
this is Jamie Oliver.
Yeah,
who's still at school.
I've known him since I was 3.
Yeah.
We were the Three Wise Men at Clavering, and there was me, Jamie Laking, and Jamie Oliver, and I trod on Jamie Laken's cloak. I remember that when we were at the nativity play. But yeah, so I met her on a pig farm in Cumbria, it was taking all the Jamie students up there, and I then phoned her up and asked her out on a date, and I left a message on her answer machine, which I thought, oh, that's handy. And then she phoned me back, and I took it. I thought I'd take it to London Aquarium, because I keep fish, tropical fish. I knew I could talk about that, and it was dark, so if I embarrassed myself, she couldn't see me going red and all the rest of it, and there was something to look at, and she thought I was a geek, really. But then there was a second date, and they went from there. And then I was setting the whole farm up at the time, and she was really interested. I mean, she's originally from the West Country, and she's a very outdoorsy person. Her father used to be Lieutenant Colonel of the 7th Gurkhas, and so she's always very active, and so she loves a challenge as well. And so she jumped in feet first, and that's it ever since. And
was the telly there before the farm?
It was just sort of started, really, and that was by an accident. A friend of mine called Niall Downing, and he was a director, and the BBC asked him to do a pilot for a programme about killer diseases, and I did a bit of medical and veterinary parasitology, so I did all things about tapeworms and malaria and all this kind of stuff, and I was his only friend who sort of knew about those. He said, look, would you do this bit of presenting, bit of fun? I thought, fine, 50 quid, day out, free lunch, and we had a laugh, and nothing ever happened with that idea. I think the programme went out, they didn't have a presenter, and I wasn't really fussed, because I wasn't thinking about that. But then the BBC phoned me up and said, would you come in for a chat? So I said, yeah, fine, and I told them what I was doing. And when they sort of stopped laughing, they said, well, could we film this? This sounds quite interesting, as a social sort of documentary. And I thought, well, give it a go, see what happens. And a guy turned up with a little tiny camera and started filming, and it then developed from there, really, and that was it.
How many camera crews did you have in the end? Because it must have got a big...
The series that, what they do, they tend to have the director that shoots on a small camera, because it's very impersonal, and then you get that very personal. Sorry, then you get that sort of real sort of behind the scenes
in
feel
there
to
amongst
it.
Sort of thing.
Yeah, but then we had a wildlife cameraman that would almost live in the woodland to get all the animal shots, and then a proper camera crew. But the series was just finished because we're filming all these couples. There were 10 camera crews, which is madness. But when we're doing like the Farming Heroes or the stuff we did, the Global Harvest, when we're filming abroad, you tend to have one camera crew, or you'll have some local guys, but we'll take equipment with us, so you'll have cranes and stuff. And I remember being in Kenya, and being in this busy sort of bustling market town, and we're filming, and I was waiting to do these lines, walking along the street, and they had a crane there with a camera on, and then I've got to look natural, and everyone else has got to be around doing their business. And this guy turned up and said, "Well, what are you filming here? What are you filming?" And sometimes I get a bit bored waiting to do my thing, and I thought,